So what is housing inventory looking like? Right. So this is kind of the definition of what a seller's market is, a neutral market, and a buyer's market. If you've been paying attention, obviously we're in a seller's market. Inventories during the pandemic, the last several years have been below 6 months, closer to 1 to 2 months actually. And if you're wanting to know how this compares to the crash of 2007, 2008, you can see here the numbers low, half of what it was, a third of what it was, even a fourth of what it was in 2022. So again, because the inventory is so low, that means that the demand is going to be high. The prices are going to keep appreciating, which we'll get to also. But as long as we have that inventory that's low, there's not going to be a crash or bubble. And let's compare buyer traffic and seller traffic. You look here, the blue and the dark blue, strong and very strong markets, which is essentially most of the nation. Those are the buyers that are out there looking for homes. Compare that to the sellers, and you see the majority of the nation is in a weak market or a very weak market. So that is going to continue to keep the housing market strong and keep it from us experiencing a bubble. The other big thing was the housing units that have been completed. That area in the orange, that was a bad time, 2005, 6, 7, 8. And we've had 14 straight years below the 50-year average, as you can see by that dotted line. All right. And housing starts. We've had the most housing starts since 2006, which means the inventory is going to go up, and that shortage that we have, that seller's market, we're going to start moving a little bit more towards the neutral, and there'll be some more graphics here that will back that up. Let's talk about home appreciation. Home appreciation, if you look at this first chart, and this is by CoreLogic, a very reputable organization, they just keep accelerating. Now, if you look at these 18 to 19, 20% year over year, some people will get concerned because that's about what it was when we had the crash. But because of the low inventory, which we've talked about previously, those are going to just start decelerating. They're going to start coming down. It's not going to stay up in the 20s. They're going to come down into the 10s, even the single digits. Right now, we're as you saw in the previous chart, it is right around 20%. When I'm doing my calculations with clients, projecting out into the future, I use a very conservative 4%. And at 4%, we're still in a healthy market. And if you're a home buyer, if you're thinking about becoming a home buyer, you're going to put yourself in a very good position equity-wise. And the forecast, and this is what I was talking about. These are all the major players when it comes to predicting where the home appreciation, the home prices are going to go. You see the average there is 9%. Again, I use half of that in my calculations because I want to be conservative. And even at those conservative numbers, it works out fairly well. So if you were to buy a home, if you bought a home in January of 2022, this is what your home appreciation is going to look like by 2027, over $96,000. And now that we're in June of 2022, that number's not changing. You're still going to have close to 6-digit appreciation in your home because real estate appreciates. And one of the things to know about why that happens is over time, 6% has kind of been the number on home appreciation. And that's because the population every 50 years or so doubles. So as long as there's people continue, and we're going right now in the where the millennials are the largest market. Baby boomers and millennials are battling it out, but the baby boomers are aging out. Millennials are taking over, and they're in their prime home buying period. So home ownership and home appreciation is your friend, and we're in great shape for that. There's some bad words that we're going to talk about now that you've been hearing a lot of, and I'm going to get into that as about what's ahead.